This has been one of the biggest weeks in terms of Steam Deck news in several months. I'm really excited about this, so let's just jump into it. That's right, it's Steam Deck news time. So JSAUX has a new case that seems to aim squarely at Dbrand's Killswitch. They're calling it the ModCase, and their promotional video seems to hint at several accessories. They include some kind of active exterior cooling, a kickstand, and a sort of jetpack dock. Finally, a travel cover to protect the thumbsticks and the attachment loop. It'll be interesting to see how this fares against Dbrand's offering. It goes on pre-order today, December 19th, and the basic set will start at only $29.99, and it will include the case, the travel cover, and the attachment loop. I'd love to know what you guys think about this. Hit me up in the comments. So a few weeks ago, I made a video about the best in-home streaming solution, Sunshine and Moonlight. Moonlight lets you connect to an Nvidia GameStream capable machine and stream games locally on your home network. And Sunshine implements the GameStream protocol for systems that don't support it natively. But it seems like GameStream isn't going to be an option going forward. Nvidia announced just the other day that they're killing off the GameStream service in favor of pushing people to pay for GeForce Now, their cloud streaming product. Scam. Ooh, I don't know where that cough came from.
Okay.
Yes, it's a joke. Now I say service in air quotes because it's not really a service. It's code that runs local to your home network. Once the code is delivered to your devices, Nvidia isn't involved in it at all. So I don't see how they could even peripherally call it a service. This is a private connection between two machines that doesn't require even internet access. Yet they're saying that this is some kind of service that needs to be retired, and that's absolutely absurd to me. Nvidia is billing this as an update to the Nvidia Shield devices that removes GameStream, but according to a conversation between Twitter user @LikeBeingGrumpy and Nvidia, they are removing GameStream not just from the Shield, but from the GeForce Experience app on PC as well. This is frustrating for many, as GameStream was simply the best and most reliable way to stream a game. So maybe Sunshine and Moonlight will become even more important to the community going forward. And hey, there's always Steam's own streaming solution, which is built right into the Steam client and which is pretty good. But what do you think about this announcement? Leave me a comment and let me know. I would love to hear from you on this. Are you as pissed as I am? Wow, I didn't think we'd get pricing details on this so soon. Last week I talked about Sabrent's new 2230 NVMe offerings. They said that it would come in 3 sizes but didn't touch on the pricing. Well, it seems like just yesterday they rectified this. The Sabrent Rocket 2230 NVMe drives come in 3 different sizes: 256 gig, 512 gig, and 1 terabyte, priced at $49.99, $89.99, and $149.99 respectively. $150 for a 1 terabyte 2230 drive is an incredibly good deal. Now the question is, will I be upgrading my Steam Deck to 1 terabyte? Probably not, but it's great to see yet another affordable upgrade path for folks who want to do so. Now, before we move on to the next news story, I've got to ask you a question. Have you liked this video yet? You'll be well on your way to seeing more videos just like this when you do. We're also nearing 100,000 subscribers here on YouTube thanks to folks just like you. When we hit 100,000, I'm going to be giving away a Steam Deck. Make sure that you get subscribed so that you don't miss that. If you're not aware, I'm a huge fan of classic Epic games. Jazz Jackrabbit, Epic Pinball, Unreal Tournament 1999, 2004, and even Unreal Tournament 3. Then there's Unreal Championship for the original Xbox, which I streamed over on my live stream channel. Go check that out. And there's also Gears of War on the 360. I especially loved the meathead shooters that borrowed the ugly Warhammer aesthetic. I have so many fond memories of playing Epic games growing up, games that defined my childhood in ways that few other titles could. And that's why it's so painful to me that Epic is killing off pretty much every one of their best games online services. Unreal Tournament 99, 2004, and 3. But to really rub salt in the wound, they also delisted these classic titles from online storefronts. I find this quite tragic. I mean, I think, at least for me, this is the final nail in Epic's legitimacy coffin. I don't buy games on the Epic Store. I stopped playing Rocket League after Epic acquired them, and I'm positively done with anything to do with Epic. It's honestly to the point where I don't even want to play games that are built in Unreal or watch shows that use their tech like The Mandalorian. That's just how upset I am with them about this. And if you're not as upset as I am, you can still buy Unreal games over on GOG, at least for now, until Epic remembers that GOG is a thing and removes them from that storefront too. That's the problem with digital storefronts, but I digress. Well, this is kind of cool. You can now play Steam games on your Tesla or in your Tesla. I don't even know how to phrase that. If you have a compatible Tesla, you'll be able to play games on the huge screen, the huge screen in the center console of your vehicle. And in a complete non sequitur that has nothing to do with my previous statement, follow me on mastodon.online/@GardnerBryant. Arguably, the biggest Steam Deck news this month has to be Sean Hollister's interview with Lawrence Yang and Pierre-Loup over at The Verge. Right out of the gate, there were several things that stuck out to me. First is their willingness to talk. I mean, we have to remember that this is Valve we're talking about. Valve has been a notoriously closed and mysterious company since time immemorial. I mean, they have traditionally not spoken about upcoming projects or anything like that, so it's great to see how talkative they have been. These two especially. The first thing that stuck out to me was the way they talk about software updates. Now, Pierre-Loup said that the Steam Deck will never be stable like a traditional console. Quote, stable in terms of having a great experience for people? Yeah, absolutely. But I think we are always going to be pushing updates as long as there's people playing. And the fact is that Valve is working from two lists, things that they want to fix and things that they want to make happen with the Steam Deck. That just makes me happy. Now, there's so much untapped potential with the Steam Deck, and knowing that they have more that they want to make happen with the hardware is truly heartening. But as more people get their hands on the deck, their bug list grows. So hopefully new features will keep coming out at a consistent pace. What are some features you'd like to see on the Steam Deck? Let me know in the comments. Next up, hardware iteration. When asked about the battery's glue situation, the component that iFixit billed as the Steam Deck's Achilles heel for repairability, Andrew said that Valve's intent has always been to make the device as repairable as possible. He said that the battery being glued down isn't ideal, but that the team had already developed a way to make removing the battery easier. Quote, we have rolled out a change to the geometry of the adhesive, making the battery easier to loosen. And this is interesting because while many products have minor revisions during their production lifecycle, Valve seems to be constantly iterating in that front. In fact, they also resumed shipping the noisier Delta fan, but with a strip of engineered foam to ameliorate the whine that people were complaining about. The next thing that they talked about was friends and competitors. Sean asked the guys about the new AMD 6800U handhelds that are about to hit the market, and Valve said that they don't really see them as competitors. While the AMD 6800U definitely has the performance advantage over the Steam Deck's custom APU, the deck comes out on top in terms of power management. For that reason, Valve doesn't see these new handheld PCs as competition. And why should they? I mean, the price to performance ratio is still squarely in Valve's favor and will be for years. And Andrew also plainly said, quote, we actually want to work with them to make sure that if they want to use SteamOS or offer a Steam-based alternative, that can be done. And if that's not the Linux spirit, then I don't know what is. Next up, they talked about the deck too. When asked about future iterations of the hardware, both men had the same answer what they'd like to see improved: screen and battery life. When pressed about the potential of a Deck Pro, Pierre-Loup had the right answer, saying, quote, right now, the fact that all the Steam Decks can play the same games and that we have one target for users to understand what kind of performance level to expect when you're playing and for developers to understand what to target, there's a lot of value in having that one spec. I think we'll opt to keep the one performance level for a bit longer and only look at changing the performance level when there is a significant gain to be had. That is absolutely the right response to that question. The Steam Deck needs to be a unified, singular piece of hardware for both reasons: to reduce consumer confusion and to allow game developers to target the Steam Deck. If new incremental changes were rolled out for the Steam Deck, it would be bad news for the platform. Now, one of the most exciting things to note in this article is that Valve is directly financially supporting free and open source software, and not just a little, like a lot. Pierre-Loup said that the company is directly paying more than 100 open source developers to work on the Proton compatibility layer, the Mesa graphics driver, and Vulkan, among other tasks like Steam for Linux and Chromebooks. There's a larger strategy effort to coordinate all of these products and set up a kind of overall architecture to make sure they can help PC gaming technology thrive in a Linux-based environment that is not really the target platform for all of those games. This is Valve putting their money where their mouth is and actively supporting the development of open source systems that they rely on for the deck. How many other companies that aren't already firmly ingrained in the free and open source world can say that they do the same. It's wonderful to see, and it's an example that other organizations really need to follow suit with. I'd love to know what you guys think about this article or any of the stories that we talked about in this video. Leave me a comment and let me know. I would love to hear from you. Before I let you go, I need to just say that I wouldn't be able to do any of this if it wasn't for the help of my patrons and my YouTube members. I want to take a second and thank Dave Lago, my newest Singularity member, the top tier on Patreon, for his new and continued support. It's because of folks just like Dave that I've been able to grow this show into what it has become today. In fact, all of these folks over here make what I do possible. If you find the work that I'm doing here worthwhile, consider making a monthly pledge with the links below. It's greatly appreciated. Emily and I are rolling out a new monthly game night. Patrons and members at any level will get to play a game with us. On January 7th, we're going to be playing Jackbox Party Pack 9 with our patrons and our YouTube community. And make your pledge if you want to play with us because it's going to be really fun. That's going to do it for now though. I hope you all have a blessed day, and I'll see you next time.